What in the hell is a blaze shard? Is what you might be asking, due to it and me being so obscure. The reason I add "and me" to the sentence is because not only do I and this random red OC I created go pretty far back, but you could also say that he was a pretty integral part for some aspects, such as my own damn avatar apparently. It started out around 2014 to 2015. I was still into LEGO, meaning Bionicle and Hero Factory, Skylanders, and Transformers at the time, which mostly influenced my character designs while doing so. In one of these building sessions I used to have, I created Blaze Shard, a black and red robot with a gold helmet, 2 fire swords, and a red scarf with icy bits at the ends. Before, he was only just another character in a pile of dozens who looked cooler than him back then, not really given a second thought. Sometime after, I had a school project, I think it was English, where I had to write down a short story about a character. Being a frickin' megamind that I was back then, I used goddamn Blaze Shard. Though seeing that the character was human, I changed the name to Caden Shard, renamed to just Caden later on, and even turning him into his own character. I used that name as a nickname for myself for a while, even using it as my PSN username when I got my PS4 in 2015. I later changed it to my current nickname, when they finally allowed users to change their usernames after, 5 or 6 years since the damn thing was released? Anyway, I'm getting off track. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. After that project, I took more of a liking to Blaze Shard, even supplanting my previous favorites such as Silverwing, Camelio, and Sharpedo, who I also grew more of a liking to after school projects. I then used him in more school projects, and made him a sort of protagonist in my own stories. When I then changed my name to Lukeshardo, I just frickin' took Blaze Shard apart, and redesigned him into, what's basically, a damn self-insert, turning him blue and red with wing blades on his arms and a jetpack on his back, with also a familiar looking helmet design. This design was more or less based off of one of the characters from the newer Bionicle series. This was also right before I started on YouTube, meaning when I did, I used him as my mascot for the channel, also starring in the short-lived The Legend of Lukeshardo and the Wormholes series. It also started out my Instagram account around this time, posting these mocks and garnering some likes from the LEGO community. Later then, I brought back the old design and then called that Blaze Shard. I then tried to find ways to connect the two separate designs, also making sure to have it fit in the new story I was making at the time. After the multitude of disappointments and failed reboots, I ditched the Lukeshardo nickname and went to Blaze Shard, renaming the channel after him and making a couple series to explain this new story. Click the card to see what I'm talking about. Sometime in 2017, I also tried making a comic spin-off from Blaze Shard called Blaze Shard Shadow, which didn't really go anywhere. Though now that I think about it, it does kinda have some similarities to Lukeshardo. Yeah, the design lore really does run that deep, but hold on to your balls, cause there's more where that came from. Then in 2018, I made Blaze Shard Returns, basically just a load of bullshit and empty promises. Later that year, I drew Blaze Shard in a really simple way. I called it Simple Sketch, my dad giving him the more accurate name of Penis Head, because of the similarly phallic shape. I later drew another simplified version of Blaze Shard that year at a Montana's restaurant, this time a bit more familiar, being the first concept of what would later become my avatar. I copied that version onto my visual arts sketchbook. Then on Halloween, I sorta dressed up as that concept, even making those antenna things using some earbuds and construction paper. This, and Blaze Shard Shadow, would more or less become the basis for Luke's design. It was around this time where I also started to look more into game design, with the game initially being a 3D hack and slash starring Blaze Shard, inspired from Transformers Devastation. The Platinum game no one but me can seem to remember apparently. I shared most of these ideas onto Instagram, and somehow people really seemed to like them. Wait, hold on. Seriously? You like goddamn text written in Google Docs more than a character sketch made in Photoshop? Fuck me. Anyway, later, as I would develop the game idea, I scrapped almost everything, and started from scratch, toning down my ambition a bit in order for it to be more feasible for me, also continuing to post them on Instagram. It was somewhere around this point where I just went, fuck it, and redesigned both versions of Blaze Shard, and multiple other characters, to fit with my new vision at the time. This time, I made them look more similar, yet still able to be recognizable from each other. I also named the jet design back to Blaze Shard to make it look less self-inserty. At the end of 2018 and until 2019, I went through this whole thing with meta and focused less on Lukeshardo, and that was really it for then, other than me getting more into sketching in 2D art and turning meta into his own character. It was then that I redid the sketch of my previous simple version of Lukeshardo. I renamed it to Lukeshardo and turned it into the avatar everyone knows and hates today. Close this summer, I made a random YouTube upload that was a concept for Lukeshardo called Ignite, which was memed on by my friends. Thanks, assholes. A bit more of an explanation for that in my old channels video. In the summer, my computer science class introduced me to Game Maker Studio 2, the same game engine used to make Undertale, home of the funny skeleton man. Sometime in October, I finally started development on Lukeshardo, and would you like to see what it is? Well, here you go. Well, damn. Yeah. Like I said in my Recon video, I'm more of a designer rather than a developer, and I don't really like getting into the nitty gritty of code and all that crap. The most I did here was copy most of the code from my other games and watch a couple of tutorials on how to make double jumping and wall jumping, the latter being more questionable in quality. After that train wreck of a time making a demo, I quit working on the project, unlike my first introduction video that was worked on during the same month, which was released, and the follow-up was in development hell before being cancelled. During all this time, I constantly made art of Lukeshardo and other related characters, through sketches, quote-unquote pixel art, and even 3D models that were printed out, thanks to my computer science class having a frickin' $2,000 3D printer in it. Now onto the present. Currently, I'm still working on the story and other design aspects of Lukeshardo, but the project more or less put off to the side, and right now I'm putting more effort into things such as YouTube and my other project, Lukeshardo. I've also recreated the thumbnail of my first upload onto YouTube with my newer designs for its 4-year anniversary. This isn't the end of Lukeshardo though. He still lives on, and he will return in full force someday in the future. This video was merely a mark for the damn beginning. And with that comes the end of this video. Thanks for watching the story of Lukeshardo, and if you like what you saw, be sure to like and share the video, and comment below what you think the dumbest part of the story is. If you want to see more content like this, and you want to help the channel out, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to get notified whenever new videos come out. Lastly, if you want to see more of what I do, check out my website, where you can find artwork, games, and my other social media, like Instagram and Twitter. Also, I just made a new subreddit and a new Discord server, which can also be found on my website, so make sure to go check those out. Anyway, I'll see you next time.